Dominik Mysterio on John Cena loss, Liv Morgan, Judgment Day absence. More. Dominik Mysterio had a terrible start to his week. He lost his Intercontinental Championship to John Cena in the opening match of Monday Night Raw. During the match, none of Dom's Judgment Day teammates came out to help him, and his on-screen girlfriend Liv Morgan has also been away from WWE programming. He shared his thoughts on all these mishappenings in a recent interview. This week's episode of Monday Night Raw aired live from Boston, Massachusetts, which is the hometown of the last real champion. Cena opened the show to thank the fans in his final Boston appearance, but was interrupted by Dominik. This led to an impromptu match between the two men where Cena beat Dirty Dom to win his first Intercontinental Championship. After the match, Dominik was furious as none of his friends from the Judgment Day were there to have his back. In a recent interview with La Afición, he shared his disappointment over the events of Monday Night Raw. He stated that he feels terrible that the Intercontinental Championship was taken away from him. He had to spend all his time on Raw alone, as nobody from the Judgment Day was there to support him. Dom also stated that he misses Liv Morgan, but what matters is that he's still the AAA Mega Champion. It will be interesting to see what's next for Dominik Mysterio now that he is not longer the Intercontinental Champion. Despite being a heel, Dominik is very over with the WWE fans. He received a huge pop when he won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania this year and excels at getting crowd reactions. Dom was disappointed after losing the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. Tensions between him and Finn Balor have been hinted for a very long time. There's a chance that Dom could finally leave the Judgment Day and turn babyface. It will be interesting to see Dominik Mysterio as a babyface on WWE programming. However, this year, despite being one of Raw's biggest stars and being part of some of the biggest matches at WrestleMania and SummerSlam, she has dropped to number 10. Surprisingly, Ripley is behind Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer in WWE, whilst the likes of Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm take the top spots. Io Sky has been widely considered to be the best female wrestler in the world, so it's a surprise that she has been given the 6th spot. Rhea Ripley kicked off 2025 by winning back the Women's World Championship from Liv Morgan on the Netflix premiere show. She later dropped the title to Io Sky, but has remained around the title picture all year and has had some of her best matches. Liv Morgan was having one of the best years of her career up until her injury back in June, so it's a massive surprise that she is outside of the top 10 after the effort she's been putting in to carry the Judgment Day following Ripley's ejection. Tiffany Stratton has also been the women's champion all year on SmackDown until recently, so there was a belief that her ranking would be much higher, but it seems that there are reasons for Moné and Storm taking the top spots over the talent in WWE on both SmackDown and Raw. However, the stadium was packed to the roof, and the atmosphere at Ford Field, Detroit was electric. Over 60,000 screaming fans roared as the lights dimmed and the signature SummerSlam pyro blasted across the stage. This was the most anticipated match of the night, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship. The rivalry had been brewing for months. Rhea, the unstoppable mommy of Judgment Day, had crushed every challenger who stepped in her path. But Liv Morgan was no ordinary challenger. After months of mind games, sneak attacks, and pure resilience, Liv finally earned her shot at the title. Tonight, she wasn't just fighting for gold, she was fighting for redemption. Entrance atmosphere. The lights went purple as Demon in Your Dreams hit the speakers. Rhea Ripley walked out with her trademark swagger black leather jacket, spiked gear, and the Women's World title slung over her shoulder. The Judgment Day Dominik Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest followed closely behind, smirking with confidence. Moments later, the lights turned neon green and pink, and the crowd exploded. Liv Morgan stepped out wearing a special SummerSlam outfit with Live Forever stitched across the back. Her eyes burned with determination. She paused at the top of the ramp, pointed at the ring, and mouthed, "Tonight, I finish what I started." The bell rang and the war began. Round 1. Power versus speed. Rhea charged first, hitting Liv with a thunderous shoulder tackle that nearly flattened her. Liv tried to use her agility, bouncing off the ropes and landing a dropkick, but Rhea caught her midair and slammed her down with a powerbomb. The thud echoed through the arena. Liv rolled out of the ring to regroup, clutching her back. Rhea laughed and yelled, "You don't belong in my ring, Liv!" But Liv wasn't backing down. She ran back in and unleashed a flurry of offense Hurricane Rana, double knee facebuster, and a springboard codebreaker that brought the crowd to their feet. She went for an early pin. 1, 2. Rhea kicked out with authority. Round 2, Judgment Day interference. As Liv gained momentum, Dominik distracted the referee, allowing Finn to pull Liv's leg and trip her on the apron. The crowd booed loudly. Rhea smirked and took advantage, hitting Liv with a riptide right into the corner post. It looked over. Rhea covered her. 1, 2. Liv barely kicked out. Rhea grew furious. She grabbed Liv by the hair, shouting, "Stay down, you little freak!" But that only fired Liv up. She reversed with a jawbreaker, followed by a DDT. Round 3. The comeback. Liv climbed the top rope, the crowd chanting her name. She dove off with a swanton bomb, crashing onto Rhea for a near fall. 1, 2. Rhea kicked out again. Liv screamed in frustration, tears mixing with sweat. She pounded the mat, calling for her finisher Oblivion. But before she could hit it, Dominik jumped on the apron again. This time, the referee caught him. The entire arena erupted as the referee shouted, "You're out of here," and ejected the entire Judgment Day from ringside. The crowd went wild, chanting, "Na na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye." Rhea was livid. She screamed at the referee, and that's when Liv struck. The final moments. Liv hit the Oblivion, her signature springboard flatliner, and covered. 1, 2, no. Rhea somehow kicked out. Liv couldn't believe it. She tried to lift Rhea again, but Rhea countered into a second riptide. 1, 2. Liv kicked out at the last possible millisecond. The crowd exploded. Even Rhea looked shocked. Both women staggered to their feet, exchanging vicious forearms. Rhea went for another riptide, but Liv reversed into a crucifix pin. 1, 2, 3, The bell rang. The crowd erupted into chaos. Liv Morgan wins. Aftermath. Liv dropped to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The referee handed her the Women's World Championship, and the fireworks lit up the Detroit sky. She screamed, "I did it!" as fans chanted, "You deserve it!" Rhea, stunned, sat in the corner staring at her fallen title. For the first time in months, Mommy looked defeated. Liv offered a respectful handshake, but Rhea slapped it away and stormed off, leaving the ring in anger. As Liv climbed the turnbuckle, raising the title high above her head, the commentary team shouted, "Liv Morgan has conquered Rhea Ripley. The era of Mommy is over, and the Live Forever era begins tonight at SummerSlam." Final scene. The camera zoomed in on Liv, holding the title close to her chest, whispering through tears, "This one's for every fan who never gave up on me." The show faded to black as fireworks exploded, and the crowd chanted her name. Live forever, live forever, live forever. However, it was a night that changed the course of WWE history, the premiere of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The Red brand was streaming worldwide for the first time ever, and the main event promised nothing less than chaos and glory. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. The arena in Los Angeles was electric. Neon lights glowed, drones flew overhead for cinematic shots, and the Netflix logo pulsed across the massive LED screens. The crowd erupted as Liv Morgan's music hit "Watch Me" echoed through the air. Liv walked out in her signature black and silver gear, her hair braided tight, her eyes burning with vengeance. Ever since Rhea Ripley injured her shoulder months ago, Liv had sworn revenge. Tonight wasn't just about gold. It was about redemption. Then the lights went dark. A chilling silence fell. Suddenly, "This is my brutality" thundered through the speakers. Rhea Ripley, the eradicator of Judgment Day, stepped out with her championship glistening over her shoulder. The Netflix cameras zoomed in on her piercing eyes, a smirk forming as she stared at her opponent. The champion was confident too confident. The bell rings. Rhea used her power early, throwing Liv into the corner with a thunderous thud. Liv tried to dodge the oncoming clothesline, but Rhea grabbed her midair and slammed her down with a brutal spine buster. The crowd gasped. Rhea taunted, "You don't belong in my ring, Liv." But Liv was no longer the underdog she once was. She bounced up, catching Rhea with a surprise dropkick, followed by a springboard knee strike that sent the champ staggering. The audience came alive, chanting, "Let's go, Liv," as she delivered a suicide dive through the ropes, crashing into Rhea outside the ring. For the next several minutes, it was a clash of styles, Liv's speed versus Rhea's strength. Rhea countered a codebreaker into a powerbomb, nearly ending it with a 2 3/4 count. Liv barely kicked out, clutching her ribs. Rhea smirked and locked in the prism trap, wrenching back on Liv's spine. Liv screamed in agony, reaching for the ropes. The crowd roared, stomping and clapping, urging her on. With a final burst of adrenaline, Liv twisted, rolled over, and reversed the hold into a pinning combination 1, 2. Rhea kicked out. The frustration showed on Liv's face. She climbed the top rope, going for her signature Oblivion. But as she leapt, Rhea caught her midair riptide. The audience exploded. The referee dropped for the count 1, 2. Liv got her foot on the rope. The match continued. Rhea couldn't believe it. She argued with the referee, slamming her hand on the mat. That moment of distraction was all Liv needed. As Rhea turned around, Liv delivered a devastating superkick, followed by Oblivion smashing Rhea face first into the mat. 1, 2, 3. The crowd went wild. Fireworks burst over the Netflix stage as Liv Morgan collapsed in tears. She had done it. Liv Morgan was the new WWE Women's World Champion. Rhea sat outside the ring, clutching her head, disbelief in her eyes. Liv, meanwhile, held the championship high, tears mixing with sweat. "This is for everyone who was told they weren't enough," she said into the camera. Backstage, cameras caught Judgment Day watching the monitor. Dominik Mysterio looked furious. Finn Balor shook his head, and Damian Priest muttered, "She's done it again." As the show ended, Netflix cut to a cinematic montage of Liv Morgan's journey from heartbreak to victory, from injury to immortality. The premiere of Raw on Netflix closed with Liv standing tall on the turnbuckle, her gold glimmering under the red lights, a champion reborn, and a new era begun. Would Rhea Ripley return for revenge? Or was this the true Liv Morgan era? Only time would tell, but the world was watching. However, the WWE Universe was electrified. After months of tension, betrayals, and chaos, the road to Bad Blood 2024 was shaping up to be one of the most personal rivalries in the history of WWE Women's Wrestling, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Chapter 1. The Betrayal. It all began on the Raw after WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley, the reigning Women's World Champion, had just retained her title in a brutal triple threat match. Standing tall in the ring, she was interrupted by none other than her former friend and ally, Liv Morgan. The two shared history. They once teamed together, dreamed together, but never truly trusted each other. Liv came out clapping slowly, a smile on her face. "Congratulations, Rhea," she said into the mic. "You did what you always do, crush everyone in your way. But you forgot about me." Rhea smirked. "I didn't forget about you, Liv. I just didn't need you." That one sentence burned through Liv's heart. Later that night, as Rhea celebrated backstage, Liv attacked her from behind with a steel chair, shouting, "You'll remember me now?" The crowd was stunned. The friendship was officially dead. Chapter 2. The Rise of the Dark Angel. Over the next few weeks, Liv Morgan began to show a darker side of herself: black lipstick, spiked jackets, and a new twisted attitude. She called herself the Dark Angel. Each week on Raw, she targeted Rhea's allies from the Judgment Day, sending messages through chaos. Finn Balor tried to warn Rhea. "She's not the Liv you knew, mate. She's dangerous." But Rhea didn't back down. "Let her be dangerous. I'm the nightmare, and nightmares don't run." Meanwhile, Liv's promos became haunting. "Rhea took everything from me: my friendship, my spotlight, my identity. Now, I'll take everything from her." Chapter 3. Mind Games and Madness. As Bad Blood 2024 approached, the rivalry turned psychological. During one episode of Raw, Rhea entered the ring only to find the lights go out. When they returned, the ring was filled with black rose petals and a single note. "At Bad Blood, your nightmare becomes mine. Liv." The following week, Liv disguised herself as one of Rhea's fans, jumping over the barricade mid-match and choking Rhea with her own championship belt. Security dragged her away as she laughed maniacally. WWE officials had no choice but to make it official: Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at Bad Blood 2024 in a steel cage match. Chapter 4. The Contract Signing. The contract signing was chaos. Rhea sat calmly, title on the table, black eyes fixed on Liv. "Rhea, you want this? You'll never be me, Liv." "Liv, I don't want to be you. I want to end you." Liv then smashed a glass bottle on the table, cutting her hand slightly and smearing her blood on the contract. "Bad blood, remember?" she whispered. Rhea stood up and slammed Liv through the table as security rushed in. Chapter 5. Bad Blood, 2024. The match. The arena was filled with smoke and red lights. The steel cage lowered slowly as Liv Morgan made her entrance, first dark angel wings on her back, walking through flames. Rhea followed, the champion in her black and silver gear, eyes blazing. The bell rang. The two clashed, instantly fists, knees, screams. It was brutal. Rhea threw Liv against the cage, but Liv kept laughing, whispering, "More, Rhea, more!" Liv hit a code breaker, then a DDT onto a steel chair. At one point, Liv climbed the cage to escape, but Rhea caught her leg, dragging her down into a superplex from the top rope that made the crowd explode. Blood dripped from both women's foreheads as they stared each other down. Liv spat blood and screamed, "You made me!" Rhea replied, "Then I'll destroy what I made." Rhea attempted a riptide, but Liv reversed it into an inside cradle. 1, 2, no. So close. The audience was on their feet. Finally, Rhea caught Liv in midair and delivered a massive riptide into the steel chair. She pinned her. As Rhea stood victorious, her music hit, but her face wasn't proud. It was haunted. Liv lay on the mat smiling faintly, whispering, "It's not over," before being carried out by medics. Rhea held her title high, but looked back at Liv one last time. The feud had left scars not just on their bodies, but on their souls. The WWE Universe knew it. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan wasn't just a rivalry, it was a war, and Bad Blood 2024 was only the beginning. Hi lovely viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Lima. Hope your day is so well. If you like the video and subscribe the channel.